What's going on, YouTube and MLP fans everywhere? Spiky Dash here with you again for the second episode of According to Spiky Dash. It has been a crazy last couple weeks since I debuted the show. First off, I want to say to all of you who watched the first show, thank you for that. It was a lot of thought and a lot of decision making and work just to get that up and running a couple weeks ago. So I thank you for that. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for tuning in now. I hope that this works because it's not only has been a busy last couple weeks, but YouTube's been acting up, and what's also odd is I can't do the Hangouts on air anymore in Firefox because it doesn't, if it doesn't support the plugin anymore. And then I tried to do it in Microsoft Edge. That didn't work. Now I got to try Internet Explorer, and now I can't get the control room to open up. So it's kind of frustrating. So if I have to go back to the old way of recording it beforehand, like not doing the live stream, recording these beforehand and putting them up that way, which I know takes longer, but if YouTube's going to keep acting up and not doing things correctly as they should, and do it that way, I'm going to have to. I have no other option. So so I'm hoping that this works. Otherwise, I'm not going to be too happy about it when I play this back. So but let's get into what I'm really doing for this episode this week. Recapping the last couple weeks, just kind of catching up where I've been, what I've been doing. It has been really crazy, and that's why I'm still kind of behind on catching up on MLP episodes. I've been trying to catch up a little bit, but it's just been so crazy these past couple weeks. A lot going on. I want to share also, because I'm slowly catching up, I will eventually get to watching season 7. I will. I've read all over the people, oh, they love these first 3 episodes, or some did, some don't. It's kind of a mixed bag. So I've recorded them on my DVR every single Saturday so far, the past couple Saturdays. So I will eventually get to them. I'm through season 5 right now. So I'm hoping to watch season 6 here this week, so that way I can get caught up. So, but in the meantime, I do want to share, at least today, so far, my favorite episodes from each season so far. And then I also want to share something really exciting that I did just yesterday, in fact, and I want to share that with you guys as well. So I'm sure maybe if you follow me on Twitter, you've seen it on Twitter. So hope I'll share that with you guys as well. The past couple weeks have been nuts. I mean, absolutely crazy. I've been trying real hard to get caught up on episodes, and ever since coming back from con, it's been crazy busy with stuff. I've been going. Let's see. I've been to 3 hockey games in Fort Wayne for the. I went to the Comets last regular season game in Fort Wayne, which they won, and then I went to the first 2 playoff games with my buddy Nate, you've seen on my previous shows before, and his wife Sarah. I've been to that Fort Wayne twice, back-to-back nights, both wins against same team, Quad City. So 3 games there, and it was just, and then it was inventory week at my work after I got back from con, and that was nuts. And cleaning projects and just so much going on. So I've been really trying to get caught up on episodes, and now I'm through season 5 finally, thank goodness. So thanks Celestia, right? So but I'm finally at least to that level, so I'm getting closer, and so really I hope that and I will this week. I will watch season 6 this week, and then finally watch these new episodes in season 7 that some people are really raving about, and others are kind of like, oh, it's sort of liked it, not that great. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. So let me just share my favorite episodes from. This is from all that I've watched so far. This is from the first 5 seasons. Some of these will be very familiar to you guys if you're really the big fans of the show. Others might not know them. First season, obviously, the first episode, the 2-part, The Friendship is Magic, that's where it all started. That's where it all began. You gotta love the premiere. You gotta love, how, Twilight came into the world, and you gotta really soak that in. And it's like, oh, this is where it began. This is where, so I love that. Applebuck season. I like that episode because that's kind of, yes, Applejack is very dedicated, but she got in way over her head. She realizes, she can't, do everything by herself. It may seem that way, but sometimes you got to realize that when you need help, you got to ask for it. So that was also a big thing for me. I'll never forget the scene though where she shoots Rainbow Dash in the air on the catapult, and she's trying to. This Rainbow Dash trying to do this awesome trick, this new move, and she's diving off. Rainbow Dash goes wait, and just in the air, Applejack. I love that moment. And then of course Applejack says, "You're welcome." I'll never forget that scene. That was absolutely awesome. Griffin the Brush Off. I know some people maybe don't like that one as much because we get to see the Griffins the first time, but the fact that how much Gilda's kind of a jerk. But the kind of the pranking episode in a way, kind of with all that. But Rainbow Dash kind of proved it at the end because that surprise kind of twist ending where you're thinking, oh, Pinky's gonna set up all the pranks for Gilda at the end of the episode, and then it's like, no, Rainbow Dash says, you know what, Gilda, I actually set up all those. And she's like, come on, you got to be kidding Josh and me. You got to be kidding me with that. But it's like, no. They weren't all intended for you, but you just happened to set them off at the right time. So that was definitely a surprise, and that's kind of why I was like stunned by that episode. Dragon Shy, I love that episode because Fluttershy stepping up in that big moment to try to calm this big dragon down. But of course, I also can't forget the part where the dragon speaks up and then goes, "But the rainbow one kicked me," and then Rainbow Dash just goes, I loved every minute of that. So that was awesome. Winter wrap up. The song's catchy as heck. What more can I say? That's why I like that episode. Some of the songs in the episodes are just so catchy, and I really liked that. So that's why I like that. Call the Cutie, very first appearance of the Cutie Mark Crusaders. So that was really cool. I liked any CMC episode is awesome to me. Fall Weather Friends, definitely showing that competitive rivalry between Applejack and Rainbow Dash. I love that episode for that reason. Sonic Rainboom, obviously, duh, because not only does it show how awesome Rainbow Dash is, but that kind of set the events in motion. So that was really cool. Which kind of flows into the Cutie Mark Chronicles, where the Crusaders find out how the main six got their cutie marks. And then that twist ending shows that Rainboom had a big part in all of it happening, which was just mind blowing when I watched it. It's like, ooh, it's like, oh, that's how it happened. So, plus Scootaloo. Scootaloo is my favorite CMC, the absolute favorite. It's just so cute trying to look for Rainbow Dash throughout the whole episode, and then it finally finds her at the end at Sugar Cube Corner. And then I love the moment at the end where they realize hey, it was because of this that we all got our marks, and they do the group hug thing, and Apple Bloom and Sweetie Belle just go ah, and Scooter goes ew. I die laughing every time I watch that. Because it's just you wouldn't expect a response. You think it's the cutest thing. They go on and go like yeah. It's so cute. I love it. I absolutely love that scene. So it's classic. I love it. Let's see. All's Well That Ends Well. I like that one too. Poor Spike. Poor Spike in that episode because he's so jealous of Twilight's new pet Owlicious, and he just shows that throughout the episode. But in the end, he ends up saving him. So it's like, oh, now I don't have reason to be jealous anymore. So he eventually warms up to it, so that was kind of a fun episode. And then, of course, the finale, The Best Night Ever, because the Grand Galloping Gala was just so awesome. Season 2, of course, the two-part intro, the two-part start. I love that because the Return of Harmony, because we get introduced to Discord. Discord is, to me, like, it's awesome now that he's reformed, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen that season. But it's awesome now that he's reformed. But when at the time, it was still kind of fun to be in this master of chaos role and this awesomeness there. So he's kind of a fun character. I always seem to like him. So that was cool. Luna Eclipsed, the Halloween episode, or the Nightmare Night, as they call it in the show. Princess Luna gets that moment in the spotlight. She's always felt like, I'm just too scared to come out to be around, the young fillies and the colts, and it's like, where's my moment? Where's my thing? So, but she finally does get that moment. So that was a cool episode for that reason. May the best pet win. Love that episode because Rainbow Dash ends up with Tank, and it's just a cool episode. Came through for her when she needed it the most. Wouldn't have thought of it at all because he's kind of bemoaning the tortoise throughout the whole episode, wanting to find something cool and awesome like the falcon or the birds or what have you. But and in the end, the falcon wins the obstacle course. But it was Tank who stopped to save Rainbow Dash when she needed it the most. So that was a cool episode, and I loved that. Mysterious Ne'er-do-well. I have never seen Rainbow Dash so confused in one episode. Like when she wants to have the spotlight for being the hero, but the other ponies realize it's kind of getting to her head a little bit. So then they start doing the heroic act. She's like, what? How is this? And then they get revealed, and it's like, how? So it was just so awesome in that regard. So I liked that episode as well. Super Speedy Cider Squeezy 6000, where we get to introduce to Flim and Flam, and they get exposed as being cider frauds. Come on, we all know that Apple Family Cider is the best. Come on now. I mean, that was just a wild episode. Hearts and Hooves Day. The CMCs kind of learned the hard way that you can't force two ponies to love each other. They try with Cheryl and Big Mac, and that can have some consequences to it. So I like that episode for that reason. Friend Indeed, that was cool with Pinkie Pie helping Cranky, the donkey, kind of see that light of friendship. I thought that was just a really cool episode throughout for that reason. Dragon Quest. Oh, this one, me, Spike really wanted to join the other dragons so badly, because he felt like he wasn't, really wasn't needed or wasn't, worth, being, with Twilight's partner. But until he realized how important he really was, that kind of got him out of his senses. So, Hurricane Fluttershy, that to me was just an awesome episode, setting the wind record, but then having her play her role in it. So that was just a cool episode. And the last one for season 2 that I liked was Ponyville Confidential. That was where the Cutie Mark Crusaders learned the hard way that that making the big news stories isn't exactly best. It's better to be honest than try to make all these great stories for a newspaper. Which we have a lot of issue with today. That'd be a relevant episode in this world today, because there's a lot of fake news out there. So we got to kind of separate the real from the fake. So. Season 3, in this season, there weren't a whole lot of episodes that kind of stood out to me. There weren't as many as other seasons, but there were still a few. Too many Pinkie Pies. If we thought one Pinkie was crazy enough, this episode showed us that several was just even kind of worse. So it was just really crazy with that episode. One Bad Apple. With the Bab Seed episode and the CMCs, it's kind of like, again, that formula where, you think, oh, this character is really, really awful, but then you find out the reason why they're kind of that way. It's happened with countless characters over the course of seasons. And later on, Diamond Tiara is another example, and Starlight Glimmer is another example. So it's happened a lot with this formula where you think you know a character based on the character's reactions that are interacting with them, but then you find out the backstory. It's like, oh, that's the reason why they are who they are. So it kind of takes on a different perspective. Magic Duel. I mean, come on, it's Twilight trying to expose the great and powerful Trixie for who she is. That was just a very interesting episode. Sleepless in Ponyville, one of my all-time favorite episodes, because obviously it involves Scootaloo and Rainbow Dash. It's and Dash agreeing to take Scootaloo under her wings. So awesome. After Scootaloo faces her fear, she confessed that she was afraid of those scary stories that Rainbow Dash was telling. But then Rainbow Dash admits to her, well, first time I heard those stories, I was scared too. It was just so cute. No, it was just so awesome to see that at the end. So that's one of my absolute favorites. Wonderbolts Academy, of course, Dash getting a chance to prove herself to the Wonderbolts and actually ends up being made a leader when she saves her friends instead of Lightning Dust, who has taken on that role in the episode. So really, really cool there. Spike at your service. I love that episode where Spike's trying to pay off his debt to Applejack after Applejack saves his life. So that to me was just too cute. And then Keep Calm and Flutter on, that one as well, with Fluttershy attempting to reform Discord. And it certainly seemed that progress there was being made in that episode. Eventually it did lead to that, but it was just the first stepping stone to getting Discord fully reformed. So then season 4, there were a lot in season 4 that I liked, and season 5, but there were definitely a lot in season 4. Of course, again, the 2-part premiere when Twilight Sparkle becomes a princess, becomes an Alicorn. That was when we were all in awe of that after that happened. So that was cool. Daring Don't, love that episode because Rainbow Dash actually meets Daring Do herself, and it's none other than the author of the book. So that was just a kind of a mind-blowing stunner when that happened. So that was very cool. Flight to the Finish, the Cutie Mark Crusaders got to shine on the big stage, when they got to become the flag carriers at the Equestria Games. And it was also kind of, cute because Scootaloo was kind of thinking, oh, I can't, can't fly. What if I never fly? I don't want to fail in front of everybody. But Rainbow Dash again and her friends inspire, her, hey, it doesn't matter whether you might never fly at all, but what matters is you're doing this. You're being on the big stage. And that, so she finally came around to that. Bats, Fluttershy as a bat, as Flutter Bats. That was mind blowing. So that was definitely very, very interesting as well. Pinky Apple Pie. Who would have thunk that Pinky's a small fraction related as a cousin to the Apple family? That definitely was also kind of a stunner. So who would have thunk that? So that was definitely an interesting episode. And of course, the catchy song in that is Apples Together, Apples Forever. I mean, that was just an awesome song. Rainbow Falls, where Rainbow Dash is forced to make the big decision who to fly for Cloudsdale or Ponyville in the Equestria Games. And in the end, she does make the right decision and has that realization moment. So that was, of course, to me an awesome episode. Pinky Pride, because Weird Al's in it. Weird Al's in the episode as Cheese Sandwich. That's awesome. So that was just an awesome episode. Twilight Time, I like this episode. The Crusaders, they get their own personal time with Twilight, but then soon everyone wants to hang out with the new princess. So it kind of takes on that's kind of this, we got to figure out what to separate here from the kind of wind from the chaff, if you will. So that was a cool episode. Some Pony to Watch Over Me. I felt like this one, Apple Bloom finally gets this privilege of being all alone, doing the chores on the farm, everything. But then Applejack has this worry like, I don't want anything to happen to my sister. So, and then she just can't leave her alone. Like every single waking moment, are you okay? Are you okay? Need anything? Need anything? Up in her grill. So it's like, and then she finally realizes, I don't need you. So that was kind of wild. Leap of Faith. Oh, Leap of Faith. Mainly because Silver Shill's in this episode, and of course I met Ian, the voice actor, at Con, and I hear his voice first. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Ian! And I always said it, Ian, it's Silver Shill. So I got so excited when I watched that. So that was really cool. And of course, Flim and Flam get exposed again. So that was really neat. Testing 1 2 3. That's where Rainbow Dash has to discover her own way of learning in order to pass the Wonderbolt exam and not everyone else's. So that was kind of interesting to see that she multitasks as she's in the sky. She's paying attention to everything else as she's flying. So that's really cool. But she didn't realize she was learning, which was so totally cool. And then, of course, the 2-part season finale, Twilight's Kingdom Parts 1 and 2, of course, where they defeat Lord Tyrek. And eventually Twilight gets the awesome new castle. So because the Golden Nose Library was destroyed in the battle, unfortunately. So that was kind of tough to see, but brand new home. So there you go. And then finally, the season I just watched, season 5. Of course, the 2-part intro with the cutie map, and we're introduced to the twisted mind of Starlight Glimmer. I don't know what to make. I mean, she is just straight up bad. I mean, she is just bad. And I know that at the end of the season, she gets reformed, but it's gonna take a long time for me to look past that. I mean, because she did some pretty rough stuff. So I don't know what to think of that right now. Castle Sweet Castle, the others try to make Twilight's new home feel like her old home because she's kind of homesick, misses the library a little bit, but they fail until they bring those memories that they've spent together in the chandelier, which that's an awesome moment, and that was just so cool. The end. Thanks for the memories. Love this episode. Rainbow Dash tries her darndest to stop Winter because Tank has to hibernate, and that was just so emotional at the end, where Rainbow Dash is crying and crying, getting the tears out, and then she's like, "Oh, thanks, for letting me, help let that out and just being there for me." So that was tough, but also a cool episode. Make new friends, but keep discord. The second appearance of the Triple G, the Grand Galloping Gala. Discord, though, trying hard not to be jealous when Fluttershy brings in Tree Hugger instead of him. That was just a wild episode. But in the end, he gets accepting of it, admits he was wrong. So that was a good one. Lost Treasure of Griffinstone. We get to see the Griffins again. That was and Pinky and Rainbow Dash get called by the map to go to the Griffin Village. And they eventually, though, get Gilda to embrace friendship, and she begins this brand new journey because they were a rough village. They really didn't have, the friendship there. So that was cool. Slice of Life. This to me was an awesome episode because the background ponies get highlighted in this episode, and because the main 6 are fighting a big bugbear. So but it's centered around the ponies you don't get to see very often in the show. They're mostly in the background. So that was really cool for the show to do that. So I thought that was really, really neat. Princess Spike. Oh gosh, this one. Spike trying hard to make decisions in Twilight's name and the power kind of gets to his head a little bit. Because she's trying to sleep during the summit and doesn't want to disturb her, so he's making all the decisions, and that kind of blows up in the face of everything. And so it was tough. So, but that was neat to see. Amending Fences. This to me was a cool episode because Twilight tries to make up with her old friends from Canterlot, but it's Moon Dancer that really takes the brush off the hardest until another party comes in that mends their relationship because Twilight didn't attend the party. Remember way back when on the first episode of season 1, when Twilight gets invited to that party and she is busy with her studying, so she brushes it off. Well, apparently Moon Dancer was hosting it and took it the hardest. So, and after that, her life fell apart. So again, it's kind of this, why is she the way she is? Oh, because of this formula again. So that's why that happened. But they eventually made up, so which was awesome. Scaremaster, always cool to see a Nightmare Night episode. But then Fluttershy finally joins in on the fun because normally she hides away from Nightmare Night, but then she joined in on it, so that was really neat. Rarity Investigates. This was a cool episode because Rainbow Dash gets accused of Spitfire's disappearance before a big flight, and so then the Wonderbolts think, oh, well, Rainbow Dash did it to take her place because she wants to be in it so bad. But then Rarity steps in and says, oh, no, I'm going to clear her name. I'm going to find out who really did this. And then the legend Wind Rider, because she didn't want to lose the record that Rainbow Dash is close to breaking. So big kind of wild story there. So that was really cool. Brotherhood Social. Oh, gosh. Big Mac in drag as Cousin Orchard Blossom. That was certainly interesting, and always great to see Big Mac in more of a speaking role because usually always says is yup, it's usually always says or nope, or something like that. But then to see him actually have more of a speaking role it was pretty cool. So that's always awesome. And then, of course, probably my favorite from the season, Crusaders of the Lost Mark, where not only Diamond Tiara gets reformed, but then they get their cutie marks. The cutie mark Crusaders do as a result of that, which was just straight up awesome. It just a great musical episode all around. The story, everything in that episode was just great, great, great. So that's why I love that episode so much. What about Discord? Wild episode all around. But the moral is, yes, even the Princess of Friendship can get jealous when she's not included in the fun times with the group because they have all this, because she takes a 3-day kind of book sortation to sort her books, and then but then during that time they all have fun with Discord, and they can't recreate it because it was just, you know, it's not like you had to be there. You had to be there moment. So it's a very interesting episode there in that regard. And then finally, in the main attraction, that one made me really cry at the end. Because it was awesome to see Applejack get her old friend Coloratura back on track when her manager is not doing what's best for her best interests, gets her back on the right track, and that was just so awesome in the end. So the finale I couldn't even watch from season 5 because it had Starlight Glimmer back in it, and it just really ticked me off. I mean, even though, yeah, she got reformed in the end, it was still frustrating for what she freaking did. So let's just say I'm not happy with Starlight Glimmer. Let's just say that. So yeah, so those are my favorite episodes, and I'll be looking forward to a lot more when I watch season 6. So I'm really looking forward to that. All right, one more thing I gotta tell you guys. Oh gosh. Okay. Real quick, like, oof. I want to show you guys this. I actually just came up with this yesterday, and if you guys follow me on Twitter at Pearsonator, you guys know for my new profile pic of this. But I finally, you know, there's a site out there. There's tons of sites, but there's one that I use that you can create your own OC, your own original character, you know, yourself in pony form, and that's what I did. So now my printer really doesn't print this very well, unfortunately, but because it's kind of the colors are lighter than you'll see them here on this paper. But this, that's me. So this will be, I'm actually going to get I put in the order also for a big plush of this. So this is Spiky Dash in pony form. I wanted to incorporate, this is, of course, they're like both Spike and Rainbow Dash. I wanted to incorporate Spike's colors, the green and purple aspects of it, into, but with kind of Rainbow Dash's colors. It's a little bit darker shade of blue than Rainbow Dash, and then the cutie mark is a purple lightning bolt. So I thought that was really, really cool. So this will be what I'm getting. I think the only downside, though, of getting a big plush of your OC is that it takes like forever. So I won't get it till like June. And believe me, I will have a video when I receive that in the mail, and we'll show you. So, but yeah, this is now my profile pic on Twitter. It's my header on Twitter. It's you know, it's also on the background of my phone. See if I can pull that up real quick. I turned off my phone so it wouldn't bother me during the show, but you might be able to see the colors better when it's on my phone. But yeah, I wanted to, you know, again, kind of incorporate the two together. So, so really, really cool site that you can customize everything in it. You can, you know, from anything in the pony itself to the background. Really, really cool. So let me see if I can't show you guys on my phone. Yeah, here we go. There you can see it a little better. There we go. Again, kind of, you know, it's a lighter blue than what. Whoa, okay, that lit up really fast. The thing about this phone is it adjusts the light really quick. Let me see if I can show it a different way. Let's see. Okay, maybe you can see it better. No, it's still. Closer to the screen. There we go. There we go. So again, it's kind of that lighter blue a little bit. Gosh dang it. See, that's why I want to turn it off. But so you get, okay, maybe there we'll show. There we go. There you can see a little better. So the lighter green, the lighter purple, the lighter blue. So that is how that's going to go. And again, I'll probably get that in June. So I'm really excited about that. So I think that covers everything I need to cover. That was a good half hour. So thank you guys again for tuning in. Hopefully, again, this video works. And if it doesn't, oh my gosh, shut up. Why? So that's it. Again, hope this video works. If not, I will adjust as needed and take it either down or try to fix the audio, something. So thank you guys again so much. And next video, I will probably let you guys know either on the discussion page or on my Twitter, again, at Fearsinator. So I'll let you guys know when the next video will be. It will always, of course, be posted on the events if there will be a new one coming up. So thank you guys again so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the next edition of According to Spiky Dash. Out.